Mercedes has received a warning from George Russell, who insists that if the team strives too hard to pick up speed, it runs the risk of falling behind. Since the beginning of the previous season, Mercedes has been battling behind Red Bull, which has dominated the field. Keep watching this video till the end to know how George Russell put Mercedes on notice after an intense situation. The single race victory for the Brackley-based team throughout that span occurred at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix last year, where Russell earned his first triumph. Mercedes had been dominating F1 prior to the implementation of new technical restrictions last year, winning championships from 2014 until 2021. Under the new technological requirements, it gave up on its first car concept earlier this year and has since been working towards a different goal, with the signing of a former 2-year contract extension with Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton will continue to compete for the club through the 2025 season. With this extension, Hamilton's association with Mercedes, which has lasted for almost 10 years as of 2013, continues. George Russell, another member of his team, also had his deal with Mercedes extended to the same date in 2025. 7-time Formula One winner Hamilton was expected to leave this season as a free agent, but despite drawn-out contract talks and persistent rumors that he may join a rival team, he's pledged to Mercedes for the foreseeable future. On the eve of the Italian Grand Prix in 2023, the announcement was made, putting an end to doubts about Hamilton's future. George Russell, who signed a multi-year contract with Mercedes in 2022, further demonstrated his dedication to the organization by extending his agreement until 2025. George Russell was to continue to be a long-term employee of Mercedes after a contract extension had been activated, according to a June report from PlanetF1.com. Mercedes announced the agreement in conjunction with Hamilton's new contract ahead of this weekend's Italian Grand Prix at Monza. The British driver, 24, has advanced in his career and achieved a number of noteworthy feats, such as his first pole position in Hungary and his first Grand Prix victory in Sao Paulo the previous season. Toto Wolff, the head of the Mercedes team, expressed his belief in both Hamilton and Russell, referring to them as the strongest pairing on the grid. Their collaboration is seen to have been crucial in helping Mercedes succeed in the future. Wolff also emphasized Hamilton's leading position in fostering diversity, inclusivity, and sustainability within the sport, noting that it goes beyond the track. Hamilton and Russell will continue to work together as Mercedes teammates for at least another 4 seasons, thanks to their contract extension. In 2022, George Russell took over the position initially, succeeding Valtteri Bottas. The action also eliminates any chance that Charles Leclerc, who now drives for Ferrari, will switch to Mercedes when his current Scuderia deal expires in 2024. The final year of the deal coincides with the end of the current Formula One regulations cycle before another substantial reset, allowing Hamilton to compete far into his year 40 season. Hamilton is expected to keep increasing his amazing career total of stars, a number only matched in F1 history by Fernando Alonso, Hamilton's former McLaren colleague. After agreeing to a new contract with the team that runs through the end of 2025, George Russell has stated that he wants to reward the trust and belief Mercedes have shown in him. At the Sao Paulo Grand Prix last year, Russell became the first driver to win in the Mercedes colors. He stated, "I have grown up with this team ever since joining as a part of the junior program back in 2017. It feels wonderful to continue our unique relationship through 2025 because it is my home." What did Toto Wolff have to state about the duo? Wolff began by praising the team for the important strides they have made in the previous 18 months. This may indicate that the group has been improving in terms of output and growth. He says that the group is getting stronger, implying that their efforts are making them more competitive and unified. Wolff shares his enthusiasm for his role in sustaining the momentum established in 2024 and 2025. This suggests that Mercedes F1 has high expectations for the following seasons. The team's determination to get back to the front of the pack is mentioned in the statement, demonstrating their desire to lead the sport once more. Wolff highlights George Russell's finest performances from the 2022 season while praising him. These exploits for a young driver include his first ever pole position in Hungary and his first ever Grand Prix triumph in Sao Paulo. George Russell, according to Wolff, is a driver who possesses both fighting grit and quick reflexes. Russell's intelligence and attention to detail are also mentioned by the speaker, who suggests that these traits contribute to his overall potential as a driver. The statement ends with the announcement that George Russell will continue working with the Mercedes F1 team for the foreseeable future. This expresses the team's dedication to maintaining their collaboration with Russell. Toto Wolff's remarks are generally encouraging for the Mercedes F1 team, its efforts, and its driver George Russell, as they strive for future achievement in Formula One. However, after a dramatic collision with his Mercedes teammate at the opening circuit of Qatar Grand Prix, George Russell slammed Lewis Hamilton. After winning the sprint race on the previous day, Max Verstappen was named world champion for a record-tying third time. He began his championship parade by winning his 14th of the previous 17 races. Oscar Piastri of McLaren finished in second position after winning the 19-lap sprint, and Lando Norris of McLaren completed the podium. Verstappen's convincing victory and McLaren's ongoing comeback, though, were overshadowed by Hamilton's collision with Russell, which left the 7-time world champion in the gravel. Russell improved from being last to fourth. In a valiant effort to win, Hamilton, who started third on the grid, tried to drive around the outside of pole sitter Verstappen and Russell, who started one position higher. Hamilton, though, hit Russell's machine on the front left. The right rear wheel of Hamilton's Mercedes flew off into the air as he lost control and crashed into the gravel. After being sent spinning, Russell hobbled back to the pits to get a new front wing. The safety car emerged and the investigation got underway. The drivers were only able to compete 18 circuits on a single set of Pirelli tires during the 57-lap race due to safety concerns over their tires, and the extreme heat also made it challenging for some of the drivers. Canadian Lance Stroll claimed he even passed out in his car, while American rookie Logan Sargent retired due to illness. The interruption, however, had no effect on Verstappen, who secured another easy victory by taking the checkered flag 4.8 seconds ahead for his 49th career victory. For Ferrari, Charles Leclerc finished ahead of Fernando Alonso's Aston Martin in 5th place. On yet another forgettable weekend for the Mexican, Sergio Perez began from the pit lane and crossed the finish line 8th after his collision in the sprint on Saturday, gifted Verstappen his third championship. In addition, Perez received a 5-second time penalty for going above the track restrictions, which dropped him to 10th. George Russell has acknowledged that for Mercedes to have any hope of catching Red Bull as early as next season, they'll need to make huge gains in a very short period of time. Since the intense title race between Mercedes and Red Bull in 2021, which finished in Abu Dhabi under highly contentious circumstances, the world of F1 has been severely lacking in an F1 title contest. After the Silver Arrows chose the wrong development path and opened the door for Red Bull's most recent reign of terror, Russell is the driver responsible for Mercedes' solitary F1 victory since that season, which was Brazil in 2022. Early indications that Red Bull will continue to dominate the competition this season led to a quick shift in focus to the F1 2024 season, where renewed optimism for a more competitive championship race is expected. However, the team faces a formidable task if the once dominant Mercedes are to quickly re-establish themselves as a credible title contender. Russell also wanted Mercedes to avoid becoming a victim of the F1 hype machine, which frequently spits out teams and drivers after chowing them down. Mercedes will concentrate on earning P2 at the constructors' standings ahead of Ferrari, now that both World Championship crowns have been secured. With 5 races remaining in the season, the deficit is 28 points. Now that Lewis Hamilton and George Russell crashed during the opening lap of the Qatar Grand Prix, CEO of Mercedes-AMG Petronas Toto Wolff may need to step in. Ralf Schumacher, a former Formula One driver, asserted that Toto Wolff, the team's principal, may issue orders following the collision involving Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. In a thrilling first lap of the 2023 Qatar Grand Prix, the cars collided with one another. Following the incident, Hamilton would be sent spinning at the first corner while Russell's front wing was severely damaged. What do you think of this? Leave your comments down below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more.